Hello everybody and welcome back. Oh my god, I might actually sneeze. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be watching the rest of the bizarre world of fake video games by Super Eyepatch Wolf. So when you see this, I will have already put the previous one, but we have not watched it in the same day. In fact, the last time I watched it is a long time from now we're watching it now, unlike what you're getting now. So there may be a little bit of discrepancy between the two, but anyway, I might start putting a clock here and maybe like chat to actually chat, you know, so you guys can actually see people talking and whatnot. But besides the fact, let's go on ahead and get into it. If you guys want to subscribe to Super Eyepatch Wolf, I would highly recommend it. They do a lot of long form content that you can watch off to the side, like and subscribe to their stuff. And they also have, I think they have a comic coming out soon, so I would recommend you take a look at that if you'd like to support Super Eyepatch Wolf stuff. All right, but let's get back into the video and let's go.
Strange one. An arcade cabinet that appeared around Portland, Oregon from 1981 to
Polybius!
1984. So addictive that massive lines would form in front of it. Some of its players later suffering from amnesia, vomiting, and nightmares. Stranger still were the rumors of men in black coats that would be seen performing maintenance on the machine, who didn't collect its coins, but were collecting something. There being rumors that Polybius
I am from the future, old. You've told me to tell you to stop
Given some of
lacking.
the
Fuck off.
wackier exploits of the US government, none of this is as unbelievable.
I'm
as
so
you
glad
think.
that the
There
thing didn't
were
go through.
actual
I'm not gonna
newspaper
do the
reports
extra.
of
I'll do the
video games
exercises
causing
later.
sickness in the 80s, and the FBI
We
were monitoring
okay.
that
I
case.
think the video came. I'm pretty sure the video came out before. If you're watching this now, we did watch Polybius. It is roaches infesting my game or something like that. I can't remember the title right now, but we did look at the Polybius video by a different person, and my whole opinion of Polybius is I still don't think it's a real game, but a lot of people have kind of overblown it to make it seem like it was real, and honestly it's garbage. A lot of the fucking people being like, oh, I worked on it, I'm a government worker, and then to immediately dispel all of it because they can't fucking make up a good lie. It's so dumb.
But mostly for drugs as opposed to mind control was what they'd want you to do. Because there's very little proof that Polybius ever actually existed. But what there was an article in a 2003 GamePro magazine which disseminated Polybius myth to a wider public, marking the first widespread urban legend of a video game.
That is interesting. That's funny because that's what they were talking about before.
And it was,
yeah, that's exactly what they were like all talking about before too, with like the fucking this specific fucking comic, a fucking magazine, when they were talking about the whole thing.
It's just the beginning. Position behind the player to frame the action to communities through which they could spread. One of the most popular creepypastas were materialized the video games causing
there.
You walk mind
I accidentally pressed the
control.
button.
The government tried that with drugs, apparently not sure if it's true or not back in the 80s, I think.
You want mind control? The government tried to do that with yeah, it's Project MK. It's like MK Ultra, dude. I already know about that. Of course they were trying to do mind control. They always try to do fucking mind control, those bastards.
Is what they'd want you to think. The truth is, there's very little proof that Polybius ever actually existed. But what there was an article in a 2003 GamePro magazine which disseminated Polybius myth to a wider public, marking the first widespread urban legend of a video game housing some kind of malevolent force. And it was just the beginning, because around that same time frame,
However, they looked at it the wrong way. Instead of mind control, they should have done zombies.
Like
so true.
Now reaching a level of
Zombies are easy to make.
Yeah, fucking that one serial killer was basically making zombies. Of course zombies are easy to make because you got to destroy the brain in certain sections to be able to do exactly what you want them to do. Mind control, on the other hand, means that they also still have a part of them that is still sentient within them, but they'll still lack control over themselves. And most of the time, but the thing is they weren't trying to make it so it's easy to control people. What they were trying to do is they were trying to make ways to have people admit to certain things that they were looking for, to get information from people. It wasn't about making zombies, it was about getting information. That's what it was all about during the Cold War.
Spooky internet stories now had communities through which they could spread. One of the most popular kinds of creepypastas being fake video games. And there were a lot. Sonic.exe is a broken Sonic game where the
fucking
player is
exe.
pursued by a nightmare.
Yeah, but they're real now. These games are real. People actually made these games. So is it really fake video games at this point?
First version of Sonic, Ben Drowned, was about a boy who found a corrupted version of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, only to be haunted by a bizarre statue within it that begins to seep into his real life.
Zombies not as brainless, but as in not feeling pain, going on a war, rage destroying, and keep going even as bullets and such hit them.
Yes, I'm not, no, okay, look, yes, I know exactly what you were talking about, but I'm telling you that that's not what they were trying to do. For what was going on, that it was not their intention when doing these things. It was their intention to get information off of people during interrogation. It wasn't their intention to make a biological weapon. And yes, they probably could make a biological weapon just like in Resident Evil if they took the time to do so, but that's not what they wanted during that time. I don't think they wanted soldiers to work for them. I think they just wanted people to admit to things that they were trying to get, like Russian spies and whatnot. Like, I know what you mean by zombies. I'm not stupid.
Game so difficult it caused panic attacks in players, the few who reached its final level discovering something so disturbing that they refused to speak about it.
Also, why use mind control when we have water torture?
Luna.
Because it's been okay. So why not use mind control when we have why use mind control when we have torture? Okay, so it's been studied that torture does not work. What happens when you torture is to your mind, what it likes to do is admit to anything so it can make it stop. That's why it was not great. It was not a great thing to use to do that kind of stuff with. Like, they wanted to get this information, but the information that we're getting was always faulty because they were admitting to anything that they could just so they can have them stop. So what they were trying to do is they were trying to just torture. They were trying to mind control, because in mind control, you yourself in a daze were giving information out that they needed. It's not like you were just out there just like, they weren't just asking, did you do this, yes or no? They were asking specific things to get information out of you, and that's why they wanted mind control instead of just torturing them.
Luna, The Theater, Misfortune.gb,
I remember all these.
Animal Crossing Dead Town, every copy of
all these fucking, oh dude, all these fucking, like,
isn't that what Boost does, mostly joking?
That's fucking hilarious. I remember all these creepypastas. Holy shit, this takes me back. I used to watch every single one of these from Some Ordinary Gamer, among other things, dude. Such a fucking trip down memory lane.
Mario 64 is unique. The Haunted Nest Godzilla game. Mr. Bones Wild Ride.
Mr. Bones Wild Ride. Okay, no. Mr. Bones Wild Ride was not a creepypasta. What Mr. Bones Wild Ride was one weird dude trying to make a ride that never ended. And it was funny. It was funny as shit. If I could search it up, I will show you.
Who are you running from? The Butcher's Nursery. Into the Forest. Playing along with Evelyn. JVK1166Z.esp. Anyway, that's actually probably enough for you to get the idea. Covetous. Never Forget. New Game.
That's
Minus.
crazy.
Pokemon Snow on Mount Silver. Pokemon Lavender Town Syndrome. Pokemon.
Look at all the shit that they're bringing, dude. That's a lot.
Pokemon Dead Channel. Pokemon Buried Alive. Pokemon Lost Silver. Pokemon Ash's Coma. Pokemon, oh god,
Ash's Coma.
Trio's got a gun. Okay, I made that last
one. Trio's got a bomb.
Here is why. What is it about fake video games that make such fertile ground for horror? And I think that's a combination of two things. One, as we've talked about, all fake video games really are these little abstract worlds. And two, the best definition I have ever heard for horror is that horror is the dissolution of our world's boundaries. What this means is that in order to exist in our world and feel like it has some semblance of safety and order, there's certain rules we have to accept as reality, that we are safe within our homes, that our loved ones would never hurt us, that the dead cannot come back to life, or that we are the dominant species within the universe. universe. It's those boundaries that make the world make sense, and horror happens when those boundaries dissolve.
It's like when it's like if you make a safe room and you keep it for long enough and then you break the rule by making the safe room a dangerous area. It's just like, if you could do that, that would be fucking terrifying, because at that point it's kind of just like you're worried about dying. The real horror in situations is losing progress when it comes to video games, and some people are obviously going to be scared of looking at creepy things. That's kind of just what humans are like. But I think what really does scare the most is the idea that something out there has the overwhelming amount of power to stop you in your tracks, and then immediately you have to reset because you just can't win. I think that's fucking, like, I hate it. It's terrifying in its own way.
Where the rules we understand the world by break, and through those cracks in reality, we see something sinister. Fake horror video games work exactly the same way, but what's so cool is how they can convey that idea through the language of video games. There's a specific thing that happens when a video game's world breaks: glitches. If we accept a video game's boundaries to be the lines of code that twist together into the rule sets that define these worlds, glitches are what happens when those rule sets begin to contradict.
Goddamn.
Character models warp, textures distort, and NPCs begin to behave in bizarre ways. And it can be kind of amusing,
Yuffie
but it's
got a
also
lesser of 3 evil choice games, for you'll be casted into the Shadow Realm, or casted into the Red Room, or the cabin in the woods.
Hey Yuffie, you gotta hold on. I'm sure fucking chat. I'm pretty sure the video that everybody heard you, but like I need to read this. Hey Yuffie, I got a lesser of 3 evil choice games for you to be casted into: the Shadow Realm, or casted into the Red Room, or cabin in the woods. I think it would be between Shadow Realm and cabin in the woods. Isn't the Red Room literally just a torture thing? I'm pretty sure if I was casted into that, I'd just die instantly. Shadow Realm just is hell. Straight up, you die. The Shadow Realm isn't even a real place. The Shadow Realm was a thing that fucking 4Kids made because they didn't want to say that characters died, but they were sent to a dangerous area, the Shadow Realm. And then the Cabin in the Woods is a movie about experimental creatures, which is an interesting one. I like that one. I like Cabin in the Woods. It was a great one. But I think the one that's likely is Cabin in the Woods. I think that's the one that I would probably choose, honestly.
Into parts of it we are not meant to. And what's so cool about so many of these fake horror video games is that they'll use the idea of glitches, of a corrupted video game, as the visual representation that its boundaries are dissolving, its world breaking down, and asking, what if through those cracks in this reality we see something staring back at us? Now granted, a lot of those stories did conclude with all the subtlety of the phallic motorcycle guy from the 7 remakes, but I don't think that should take away from just how cool a concept this is. And there's a lot of modern fake horror video games take
a lot of, it's like all this horror just straight up comes from like the fear of the unknown, and you can really see it within each and every one of those. Like, am I gonna die? How is it gonna kill me? And it's scary at the fact that I don't know, because once you figure it out, once everything is solved, you kind of just, it doesn't become scary anymore.
This idea of a broken video game housing some insidious entity and evolving it in some really creative and disturbing ways. The Lacey series is a collection of fictional Let's Plays where the player controls Lacey, star of a not real 2007 Flash game, as she works different jobs through different mini-games. And everything about them,
you want to know something funny?
Do tell, Demonic, do tell.
Hyper-effeminate and very specific era of Flash games. And it's convincing. There are loading bars, there are poorly designed, albeit very...
Is this supposed to... Yeah, so yeah, I got the second to left. I got it at the last second. This looks like a Flash game. It definitely looks like a Flash game.
And artwork that has this kind of how to draw manga roughness to it. However, as you continue through these videos, the kinds of things Lacey is tasked with become strange and cruel. The world around her begins to
oh shit,
the artwork corrupting into these distorted and disturbing images,
implying
a far darker reality than the player originally expected. And it's awesome. To me, it captures the very unsettling vibe of mid-2000s internet, a place less
your game corrupting and everything fucks.
And more tens of thousands of disparate user-run websites, meaning stumbling into something that you really shouldn't have was common. But Lacey's captures that feeling beautifully, but also through the corruption of this world, it forces you to ask the question of how does something
people
this
would not touch Mimic, but would touch a succubus. People would not touch a doppelganger, but would touch a shapeshifter. People would not touch a skinwalker, but would touch a clone.
People would not touch a Mimic, but would touch a succubus. Okay, think of it as the main thing. The main thing that a succubus doesn't do to you is it doesn't eat you out of, well, I mean, she does eat you, but so when people talk about succubuses in this case, then yeah, they're probably doing it because it's about, you know, because they're hot. The ones that are displayed in a lot of things, it's because they're hot. But like a Mimic, it makes sense why you would want to touch it, because it immediately is just gonna fucking bite you. It immediately does. A succubus kind of gives you, I mean, the succubuses that you see now are just gonna give you, like, tempt you. It's temptation and shit. Touching isn't gonna do much. It's until you get into the worst part of it. I would not touch a doppelganger, but touch a shapeshifter, because a shapeshifter doesn't do much. I don't know about a fucking doppelganger. I don't know what a doppelganger do.
Ditto, a long enough living Mimic can turn into people.
I mean, I guess this is a fucking, you just made it to a shapeshifter at that point. People would touch Skinwalker, but not would touch a Skinwalker, but not touch a clone, because a clone is weird. I think you also got to remember that a Skinwalker is just a witch. That's what it is. It's not a demonic. It's nothing. Well, technically, it is kind of something demonic because those are the powers that they serve. But what I'm saying is that it is still a mortal. It is still a person. It's a witch, is what it is. If you ever seen the whole thing about it, they're witches. They're human witches. They're nothing like demonic in anything except for what they work for.
Who seems fine. Lacey is interesting because it evolves that core concept of some insidious entity or awful truth at the center of a broken video game, but there are a lot of modern horror fake video games exploring that same idea. Petscop is another fictional LP series about collecting these delightful little creatures before gradually peeling back the layers of this reality and revealing the disturbing truth as to why
I guess Skinwalkers are just warlocks.
There's an entire media campaign around
I didn't think about that.
N64 beta,
I think so.
And through its broken world, can we see the disturbing effects that cancellation had on its creator and his family. Diminish is a less horror-focused series communicated through a fabricated Let's Play, in which an unseen person plays through a fictional, ultra-difficult video game created by his dead sister. The memory of her communicating with him through the trials he has to endure in this game. All these games are cool and interesting and worth deep dives, but
Fucking Crow is the one I should probably go at.
Only so much blood in my veins.
I've only seen 2 of those, and that's the Crow one, which I would probably want to react to, and the Petscop one, which maybe we should watch that one as well, maybe at some point. If you guys want to, anybody in the comments below, if you want me to look at Petscop or the Crow game or any of these games, for a matter of fact, I'll probably take a look at them if I get at least maybe 1 or 2 people to tell me about that, because I'm just a small boy. I'm just a small channel. I say boy, I'm in my 30s. It's almost a small channel, so I'll probably just I'm still starting out, so we'll see what happens, but we'll take a look at it. These are old fucking ones too, so we could take a look at them and then kind of give our own opinion when we look at these things. It's definitely something that I have seen over other people do, but this is me doing it now, and I'm different.
I would say if you're gonna do Pet Shop or whatever it's called, 100% go for MatPat 1. You get lore and story.
I did watch the one from Wendigoon. I like watching a lot of Wendigoon.
One I just have to talk about. A fake video game that takes the concept of an insidious force hiding inside a corrupted game world to a whole other level.
Oh, what's this?
Valverde begins like a lot of old creepypastas do. Someone finds a video
Ghosts of video games.
Forest.
Why make a fake video game? introduction over.
Footage of an old, unreleased video game.
That shit look like Mother. That shit look like Earthbound.
Also, there was no AI back then, so the games was made or drawn.
Oh shit, okay.
Language select,
oh yeah, I know that.
Memory card reader screen, even an introduction movie that is skipped by the player. By the time you hit Valverde's title screen, it already feels bizarrely real.
Valverde!
An actual fake video game, right? And that uncanniness does not go away. As upon
does it feel
selecting
uncanny?
A game, a fully animated opening cutscene plays.
Damn, okay.
Then taken through a character creator and zone select, and from here, we touch down in a gorgeously designed village of limited polygons but infinite charm.
That is insane. What is this? Look at the amount of shit that they did. Holy fuck. This isn't actually fully... Is this a fully built game?
Little lives working their little jobs.
Also, why does that boy look like the other boy from Smash Brothers?
Yeah, it looks like Ness. That's why I said Mother.
The Fox
or Earthbound.
Whose authority has been vested him by something called the Smiling One. I'm sure that's fine. Gives you a house whose
Smiling One.
owner left a long time ago and has never come back. That's also fine. Clearly there is nothing of concern happening.
Yes, nothing of concern.
Also, why did it say Brothers when I spent it BROS?
We've talked about everything from its lo-fi graphics drowning in.
Why did it say Brothers when I spent
mini games to just the care that
I have
put
no
into
clue.
its menus, intricately designed and burst.
Look at this. This is so much to it. It's like an actual game.
With different icons suggesting so much of what this experience might be. It also completely captures the feeling of staring into this little video game world through some lost beta footage. And that is when Valverde has you where it wants you, as the feeling that there is something else in this world with you begins to creep in.
Ow. I hit my finger on my thing. Oh! Oh, I saw a face. Oh, I saw a face. Hold on, I want to see that shit again. Isn't there a way to, like, just go for, like, small, like, seconds? Oh, it was a picture of a child! And a woman!
Dot in coma.
Ooh! Is it gonna move?
It begins when the Fox Mayor attempts
Dot
to
and
introduce
comma.
the player to the other people who have moved to this island. But where dialogue
and comma
is instead cracked, glitched out text,
and pictures,
portraits in place of character art. What is happening here? The more Valverde you experience,
it's spooky.
the more those questions you'll ask. What's with the unsettling amount of religious imagery in this game? Why are the landscapes that surround the village so strange and random? Who are the people in these portraits, and why does it feel like they're watching you? As those questions pile up, the peaceful video game world of Valverde begin to splinter and break. Textures
that is insane.
bulge and crack. Villagers start to act in strange, uncanny ways. As the serene landscape vacillates and warps around you, glitches tearing open holes in this reality that reveal its deeper layers, twisted and frightening places, stalked by massive and impossible beings. And soon, Valverde feels less like the pristine little village
I would
you
say
arrived
what
at,
would scare me the
more
most
like
is some
some
basic
abominable
phishing can
abyss,
call
an
phishing,
ever-expanding
and it
void
is
pushing
actual
through the
malware,
corrupted world
but
of
instead
the
of
video
hacking
game.
left
Where that
notes
feeling
and left
hits a
images, it
ludicrous
made
peak
recording of
Oh
voices
my god!
and then use them as
impossible
characters in the
deep
game
within Valverde's
and dialogue, and the
second
longer you
fake
play it, the
video
more
game.
detail and deep creepy it gets.
Bro, maybe we should look at Valverde in the future.
Game
Holy
not
shit, that
canon.
looks crazy. I would like to say, I would say that would scare me the most is the basic phishing called phishing. It's actually malware, but instead of hacking, it left notes and left images. It made recording of voice and such, and then used them as a character in game and dialogue. And the longer you play it, the more detailed and creepy it gets. Dude, that would be fucking great. That would freak me out. What the fuck?
Versus a strange third-person action survival horror entirely different from Valverde, with its own cutscenes, its own visual style, a player select both a third and first-person mode, its own menus. This strange pocket reality now seeming to bleed into Valverde's other worlds. And this what? I stopped understanding what Valverde was the moment it went from an abyss and became an infinity. And as for the malicious entity that lies at the center of that infinity,
we'll watch it. We'll watch spoilers. Fuck it, we'll watch spoilers.
Lilith's blood thing.
We encounter it, an artificial, self-determinate god who has locked itself away from this world.
That's what Luna Game used to do.
Oh shit, that's terrifying.
Constantly generating new pieces of this place, designed to lock all of humanity within this nightmare, so that our sins not upset the real God any further.
Oh shit!
Draw his wrath.
That's crazy.
That's what I think is happening.
He's a good guy.
I don't know. Valverde is such an amazing evolution of the concept of some sinister entity lying at the heart of a fake video game. Straight up, one of the
I'm about to get myself some food later.
Ever encountered
I never heard about it, so that's creepy, I guess, the game lore.
Criminally, Valverde doesn't have that much of an audience. Its second part, featuring that second fake video game and artificial god, has at the time of writing less than 100,000 views. Meanwhile, Valverde explainer videos get many multiples of that, which
I gotta see this.
To be clear, is not
All right, we gotta watch this.
Making these explainer videos, and particularly Nightmind, who urges you to go watch the original, and he's right. I think it's a problem that comes with how online content like this is sometimes consumed. That there's this belief that discovering the secret message of a piece of media is more important than what that media feels like to experience. And personally, I think that's a belief for wankers. To me, the emotion you feel while experiencing a piece of art, that is the art. If you want to feel the abyss-like experience,
I want the art to make me feel good inside.
What's so special about it, sit down in a dark room and just fall down these videos. Let Valverde happen. And if you want to go down the rabbit hole of explainer videos after that, go for it. But you should never be taking your opinion on any piece of media from any YouTube video, especially mine. I think Modern Simpsons is good. If you want to know what's so special about these worlds, you gotta walk around them yourself. That is the appeal of experiencing a fake video game from an audience perspective. And if we tie this all the way back to Persona 5 Imagining Project, this was the first time a lot of people had that experience and were able to engage with how fucking cool it is. Which leaves us with one last question. What is the purpose of making a fake video game as a creator? Why would someone pour so much time and effort into doing this? And that, friends, brings us to quite possibly the most bizarre fake video game in existence. Even by lovely touches of...
Oh, dude, the Garfield games! He also talked about this when he was doing the fucking, what the internet did to Garfield. This was the craziest looking fucking, like, set of images that I've ever seen in my life. I don't even know if it was all well connected enough to actually make an entire video off of it. But it was definitely, like, a bunch of GIFs together of just, like, fucking Garfield and, like, fucking godly Gorefield. Yeah, Gorefield.
High standards. Breaking Bad Game Boy is fucking bizarre. Taking Breaking Bad, one of the most respected and influential TV crime dramas of all time, and transmogrifying it into this grotesque story of body horror where the cast of the show become these nightmarish kaiju beings and commit bloody battle across the skyline of Albuquerque.
That's crazy.
Somehow,
what?
Through that story, retaining the drama and even thematic narrative flow of the TV show. That already is a fucking insane idea.
That's crazy.
Lunaticized by being compressed down and squeezed through the lo-fi format of a Game Boy, using the visual language and mechanical context of the games of that tiny console. There are shop menus, there are QuickTime events, there are full-on gameplay sections with on-screen instructions. It is weird, but it is also one of the most uniquely compelling experiences I've ever.
That is such a crazy fucking thing.
Mixed with the last horror game you played. ... You down.
Got a wild mix for you, youth. You mixed the last Gooner game you played and mixed the last horror game you played, you down. What's the last Gooner game though? I don't play Gooner games. I just gooned up photos and videos.
Depends. Does Minecraft count as a horror game, Kappa?
Minecraft, and it's like, I don't know. What was the last Gooner game I played?
Technically, the last horror would be Re.
Okay, so Resident Evil, but what was the last? I don't think I had a last Gooner game that we played. I haven't played a Gooner game. But if I had to mix it with Resident Evil, I think I'd be fine. If there was a, like, maybe I should play Girls Frontline then. That's a real Gooner game.
Encountered on the internet.
This is crazy.
More than that, it is an idea that should not exist, and yet it does. One that left me with a single burning question. Why? Why take a concept as insane as Breaking Bad told with kaiju body horror and then squeeze it through the medium of a Nintendo handheld? What?
This is so fucking insane to even hear about. These are things that we should be looking at, dude. Honestly,
horror-like.
RL Craft, I heard that shit's fucking hard to do.
Possesses
real life
something like this, and that is a question I grew so obsessed with that I eventually reached out to Lumpy Touch and asked them directly. Their answer was unusually enlightening. Rather than making essentially a Breaking Bad fan movie from start to finish, I'm just showing bite-sized snippets of gameplay from the larger narrative. A part might highlight a story beat or game mechanic, and then in the next part, we've time skipped forward. What did
That's
we
interesting.
skip over? Viewers enjoy filling in the blanks, imagining high-quality gameplay, maybe a platform or point-and-click adventure game. Some of my favorite comments are people making walkthroughs for a game that doesn't exist.
That's fucking hilarious.
The footage and extrapolated game mechanics, levels, strategies, etc. It's awesome. Seeing Lumpy Touch.
That's such a cute fucking thing to do. Just have random people come in and be like, "Oh, so this is what you do for a game that doesn't exist."
Like so much of how I felt about fake video games and how they invite the viewer to collaborate was honestly really validating and made me feel like slightly less of a crazy person. I think one of the reasons I have been so willing to pour such an ungodly amount of time into this fucking video is because I genuinely think fake video games invite the viewer to engage in a way that few other art forms do.
6-7.
And the fact that they don't actually exist, that they are not complete projects, is a huge part of
You didn't hear me? I hope you guys didn't hear me.
It forces us to ask, not what is this, but what could it be? And I think that's a really powerful thing. Something that would arguably be lost if
how
these
about
were
this? You get
real, complete
teleported
video games.
into
And it
Elden
was on
Ring
that incomplete
that you get
nature
3
that
of
Lumpy
your
Touch said,
best wafers.
Tsurugi? Let me see. Helen from Girls Frontline. And you have to give me some time to think of the third one, but those two are definitely ones that I would definitely
something
put
else
into.
That for me slid into place. The
Tsurugi from Blue Archive.
In understanding why people create fake video games. Originally, when I set out to make content, I envisioned myself as a game dev rather than an animator. Unfortunately, making games is hard. Making fake games means I can sort of scratch that itch, build these worlds, and not invest 7 years of my life. I think this point is a big deal. We are now several generations into people growing up with video games as the dominant form of media, and video games being such a huge part of people's lives from such an early age, of course they're going to want to replicate that art. The only problem being is that
Helen is a fair choice.
Really fucking hard.
I think Helen's a real good choice.
Like Bloodborne Kart, a fake video game that Pinocchio'd its way into becoming real, video game development is a viper's nest of multiple creative arts and technical sciences, all
What is considered a viper's nest? Hold on, let me search this up. Viper's nest refers to a group of dangerous, treacherous, or untrustworthy people. Oh, okay.
Each other apart. The worst game you have played is a miracle. But with fake video games, they allow people to create the illusion of those realities without the monolithic barrier to entry, which means so many more people can build those worlds. So many more ideas can exist. So, to put all this together, Persona's IP obviously is not available, and the technical skill and manpower to actually make it happen would have been completely impossible.
The user was redacted by triangle symbol.
The govern. I don't know. I don't know what that even means.
It was compelling. Even a decade after this was categorically proved to be a hoax, there are still people building onto it and cataloging it. And
seriously, that's crazy.
Intrigue, the actual creator was never found. The Atlas XP5 YouTube channel going silent after the actual announcement of Persona 5. Only for 6 years later to post 2 final cryptic videos, suggesting that maybe there was actually something more real here. But who fucking knows? I don't. But if
imagine it was official.
About Persona 5 Imagining Project, I'm going to link to a.
Imagine this was actually like a whole fucking like thing where they were like making this, and they were actually making this. Wasn't going to be Persona 5, but they just said Persona 5 to kind of just like deter people from looking, because oh no, new Persona 5 came out. Everybody knows about that, but this within itself was going to be something else, you know?
Phenomenal video by YouTuber Blue, who did an incredible job in detectiving all this information together. But as it stands, it's through Imagining Project we can see so much of what is so strange and special about fake video games.
Podcasts become reality good by humanity. No humans would be left if that was real.
I guess become reality god by humanity. No more humans would be left if it was real.
Address this, and to do so, we are going to talk about one final fake video game. And if I'm going to be honest here, it was this fake video game that is the entire reason this video exists. Meaning the last hour and 20 minutes have really just been one long introduction.
Oh.
God, I'm bad at this.
Jesus, wait, so the whole time that we were watching this video, this whole fucking time, there was an introduction?
It's a joke.
It is a joke. You're right.
I remember one of the first pieces of the artist Plastaboo that stood out to me. It was an
illustration
of the character Honey from the Sega Saturn game Fighting Vipers. And I love Honey. A lot of 90s fighting game characters had this really cool street fashion spliced with martial arts gear look that to this day I still think is awesome. And Honey, with her gothic Lolita dress blended with chunky protective gear, chest plates, elbow pads, and shin guards.
Oh, an actual thing. I thought this was that dumb Facebook meme of you just lost the game.
To promote her fashion brand, and beyond that, the most interesting things about her is that she's called Candy in Europe, and she also has an unlockable furry persona in Sonic the Fighters. That's
interesting.
Basically everything you can know about the character. Funny. And so when you imagine fan art of her, beyond her look, there's not a whole lot to really draw on. And yeah,
an hour and 11 minutes build up for a goddamn joke.
Congratulations to Money.
A streak of red on her pristine white glove, her face contorted into this ghoulish grin, her eyes curling upward into light. The eerie way
what is even considered a ghoulish grin?
The viewer have just hurt her, but she's delighted about it. As if the piece is asking, what if at the center of this cute veneer is a frightening and violent person. It's kind of chilling, and if Plastaboo,
I mean, she's in fighting games.
This unsettling from this
So she a maso.
It should tell you how good Plastaboo is at creating unsettling imagery. Their illustrations often feeling like these development sketches for some lost horror movie, frequently obscuring monsters behind scenery so that you never see the full thing, but generating an incredible amount of tension and intrigue. Some even creating horror from the mere implication that something might be there, lurking in the darkness.
To pull out the corkscrew morning star.
Over and over in this video, right? The ability for an artist to imply something more than what we can see. And in the same way, fake
that's an interesting thing to do that you can do.
Games, Plastaboo does
damn boy, she thick.
Dozens of different
that's great
formats. Sometimes it's a news report warning of strange creatures with the ominous text, "They are silent." Sometimes it's packaging for Halloween masks that look just a little too real. But one of my favorites is this image of two creepy faces, and by itself,
it's a wanted poster.
Is unsettling, but look at how much meaning and context Plastaboo injects into this piece by printing that image as the
Missy!
Switch to stats of yours number, what will you switch?
Evidence 3, asking so many questions about
that is insane.
Happened here and the kind of story.
Why is milk evidence?
Plastaboo is exceptional at this, combining different mediums and formats to create these strange narratives.
Wait, what stats do I have?
Multiple images in the same composition, like it's some stream of conscious work in progress for a final piece that we never see. And it's weirdly unsettling, especially when it creates narratives that
because it's
something
like real without being real, I guess.
This piece,
like the details.
We see an image of a girl stepping forward with a welcoming look on her face, and then some kind of grotesque creature. Its head encased in a metal device, clutching what looks like a newborn child.
It's my baby.
The same girl's face contorted in terror, the same face again, now collapsed and broken. And finally, an empty chair sitting next to a memorial picture of the girl as a shadow of something looms out of frame.
That's
Sometimes
weird.
Plastaboo will even build
I
these
mean, you have
narratives
stats
into
like
entire
thing about it,
worlds
like
across
if you switch your
multiple
bone
different secondary
density
pieces,
for your
like
ego,
a
would you get a massive
sea-flooded with a
ego or
demonic
just
red
very
place
fragile
where there are
bones?
no
I would
people,
have to figure
only
out which
bizarre
stats of mine are big
elongated
enough to switch out
entities that stalk
with ones that are
its
lower.
and peek out at you from behind doorways. Another being a bizarre reality where small plush-like creatures wander these broken, desolate landscapes, encountering these awful otherworldly beings and massive, grotesque nightmare creatures, all while their perception of themselves and the reality around them warps and distorts. And yet another of these worlds is a nightmarish school building where
that is crazy.
Something is very wrong.
All right. If we're gonna go for that, then it would be my ability to write switch with my ability to draw. That's what I'd probably do.
Where uncanny monsters stalk its hallways and bloated abominations lurch from the shadows. And as a side note,
it's also cute, and then you see like shit like this.
That the monster has the same hair color, hair clip, and even eye patch as the girl at the bottom of the stairs, suggesting so much about what might be happening here. The reason I'm going so deep on Plastaboo's more traditional work is that through it, you can see what a weirdly perfect fake video game artist they are, even without mentioning their fake video games, drawing us in with images that ask questions, turning those questions into narratives through different mediums and formats, and using secondary pieces to build those narratives into worlds.
It is very interesting to see.
The entire process we've been talking about this entire video.
It definitely feels very creepy to look at when you look at each and every one of them. It comes off as inhuman sometimes, especially when you see something like this. And by inhuman, I definitely mean like somebody. It's like if a person was doing AI art, I guess you could say. You know, it's a very weird thing to bring up. Like I'm talking about like the grotesque AI art. I'm not talking about like what's going on now. It feels faulty. It looks like they're not human, you know?
And it's when you look at this through Plastaboo's fake video games that things get really special. Video games are a huge influence on a lot of Plastaboo's work, something you can see in a lot of their creepy video game fan art. Not even just horror series like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, or Bloodborne, but eerie renditions of games you wouldn't
I don't like the
expect,
holes.
like Doom, like Earthbound, like Pokemon, as well as deeper cuts like Darkstalkers, Ico, Rival Schools, and
that's so fucking good too. Like, holy shit.
On a haunted Animal Crossing village, images showing bizarre doppelgangers appearing at night, or candid photographs where strange creatures wash up on shore, or bizarre specters loom ominously.
You could have mild trinophobia.
Yeah, no, I know. I have mild trypophobia. I don't like it.
As well as the influence
I also don't like eyes.
Creepypastas. The earliest work I could find from Plastaboo was even this layout, which looks like some kind of rough design concept for a video game. But from here,
it looks like Yume Nikki. I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously it's not, but like it definitely has that style and feel.
We would push and evolve that concept in so many weird and fascinating ways, and some of it's a kind of loosely implied.
Oh, interesting.
Game. Like this image
Please
of a
don't
girl
freak out.
collapsed next to a broken sword with the text "Magical Girl After Battle." The distressed
like
line work
normal
and the rough
eyes or
pixelated
biblical
fonts making
angel
it feel
eyes.
like
Just
a page
eyes.
scan of some old beat up game guide.
A bunch of
Or
eyes
their
on a head or
Codename
something. That's
series,
creepy.
where they pair children with these gigantic, bizarre creatures.
It's
And,
Pokemon!
Man, the style of drawing, the typeface used,
Oh, wow,
the
okay.
compositions, it all gives me the feeling of CD inserts for some lost Dreamcast fighting game, complete with what looks like an end-of-run boss. Other of Plastaboo's fake video games are more direct, and it's here where you can see their love of the aesthetic of video games, from fake box art and CD illustrations to full-on mock-up screenshots that cover a massive span of bizarre games, like Yummy Yummy Poomy, a
Is that the
strange
bite of
PlayStation 1
'87?
survival
Is it the
horror
bite of
about
'87?
eating dinner,
Probably.
I think, that exists only across a few images, a mock-up screenshot that
That's
uses
terrifying.
the limited low-polygon aesthetic
Fucking
of
crap. It's the
PS1,
Redead.
as well as a full-on fake promotional poster and even a game over screen with the text, "No one can hear Poomy." Other fake video games including Lilo is Lost, a lo-fi first-person experience about exploring a bizarre, never-ending shopping mall, or Dream Trading Archives, which honestly I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but it looks awesome, or Home, which is just a bizarre game which also has a scanned troubleshooting section from its manual. with hints about
That's
what to
interesting.
do if you start getting messages from aliens, or if grandma and grandpa die. If 3 days pass once you arrive at the cottage and grandma and grandpa are not in the house or nearby, they might be deceased. This does not affect the game except for the attic that would not be accessible for the rest of the game. And
What,
a message
dude?
will pop up every time you try to enter. This happens.
It's the
very
redacted
rarely.
chair, so
Creating
true.
a new game file should make them appear. Loading a previous file will not bring them back. By now, I hope it's
That
clear
fucking
how
sucks.
natural Plastaboo is at creating fake video games, which leaves only the final fake video game I want to talk about. This one
Wasn't there
being
a-
the entire reason this video exists?
Spoiler?
One that
Oh, for a different game.
incorporates
The
not
mother,
only
remember
everything
Yuffie,
we've
you
talked
don't
about, but on
question
a scale
Papa, and
unlike
Gram
anything
about the
else we've
redacted
seen.
chair.
The redacted chair. They use it while they use it well. It's very much worn.
The stone bricks sink into the pearly waters of the swamp as the path extends in front.
It's a worn out
Distinguish a
redacted
flat
chair.
landscape covered in cloudy waters and weeping willows, all enveloped in a thick veil of mist. This is the Silver Swamp. It is eerily silent. There is not the sound of insect, bird, or beast.
Oh.
The calm is almost haunting. Once you cross the mist, the atmosphere is filled with a violent silence that only ceases with the splosh of your foot hitting the water.
Imagine
The
a
shapes of the
wooden
mist
chair
swirl and
so
spiral
worn
around
out
you,
it
and
actually
sometimes
fuses
you
to the
swear
floor
you can
because
see
it's sunk into the planks.
faceless
Whatever
woman,
whatever
child,
granddad
the
or
girl
grand
whose
were
face
watching
is
during that
frozen in
time, then
terror.
I have no
A
clue that
naked
would wear it
man
out that bad.
Staring out at you from behind a tree.
Oh my god, he's
emanating
naked!
A threatening aura.
Ah!
But the phantoms are not what scares you. The more time you spend in the mist, the more a weariness creeps into your
What do you
bones.
mean?
You find yourself in a constant battle just to stay conscious. If you happen to have a night watch mushroom, it will help you stay awake longer. Finally, a solid shape emerges from the mist and you are confronted by the lost paladin.
Be gone, Shadow. Return to the fog. You will not fool me twice.
The lost paladin rushes you, raising his sword.
Oh no.
Only to crash to the ground, exhausted, collapsing into a deep slumber.
Well, that's fucking
now that
sad.
they are unconscious, you may choose to steal their sword. You do. You obtain the unbreakable path.
Dark
Soon,
Souls.
you begin to worry that the paladin's fate will soon be yours. You try to stay awake, try to push through the deep mist and thick mud, but soon you can barely distinguish between reality and a dream. The swamp water covers your body like silken sheets. You stand on the surface of a vast and infinite lake beneath a pitch black sky, the only light coming from a hanging moon. Below you, at your feet beneath the water's surface, is a sea of corpses, and that is when it appears.
None have awakened from the dream.
Oh.
This is not.
That is that form is wild.
So soul can rest under the peaceful waters, among many others.
The aspect of the dream draws its blade gracefully and lunges with inhuman speed. If the aspect's dream crosses your heart, the dream will end and your body, consumed by the mist,
You fucking die.
But the aspect is nimble as it is fragile. One single hit can end the illusion. Once the dream is shattered, you wake up in a different place. The mist is gone and the buzz of insects and nature surrounds you completely.
It's a dream.
You feel
It's a
the cold
dreamscape.
breeze against your soaked clothes. You acquire a new weapon. Memory of the Stinger.
Oh, interesting.
What I just read is a slightly adapted passage
I
from the
actually
book
had an
Vermis,
idea of
and
a psychological
Vermis is
horror
simple.
game
It
that
is
I
an
never
official
really
guide
ever
for a
started
game
making.
that doesn't exist.
But I never really
I'd
started
rather
making.
be stuck in a dreamscape than a
If you don't
hellscape.
want to share here, you can tell me the idea during DMs. I wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts on it. Not gonna lie. I'd rather be stuck in a dreamscape than a hellscape. You well, no shit.
With walkthroughs for its different areas,
Obviously.
theories of the monsters you'll face in them, item pickups and their locations, even an in-depth list of character classes. But despite all this, what Vermis actually is, or how you interact with it, is curiously opaque. While its text is full of information about its world, it never goes so far to outright describe what kind of game Vermis is. There are no controller layouts, screenshots, or even descriptions of its gameplay mechanics. In fact, the only definitive clue I could find that Vermis is even intended as a video game is a fake torn sticker on the cover of its second volume reading "Game Disc Not Includ." And I'm going
What
to assume
includ?
that those missing letters are Ed. What this world is and how you experience it is a mystery, but that mystery is a huge part of the joy of experiencing Vermis. Rather than directly telling you anything, Vermis is constantly asking you to infer its meaning, and that begins.
That's
as
an
soon
interesting
as you hit
fucking
the
thing to
character
see,
select.
honestly.
Although
Like, look at this. It's also interesting, but like, what kind of game would it even be? Is this like a fucking RPG? Is this an action RPG? Like first person? Like it's just the thought of it all.
Vermis doesn't even tell you this is a character select. That's something you have to infer both from the title, Vermis, which this medical website tells me is the part of the brain that coordinates movements, as well as many cryptic passages about which flesh do you choose, which flesh is yours, leading me to believe that we, the reader, are meant to be some kind of disembodied spirit sliding into the brains of these characters and vermissing them. And this idea
Vermissing them.
the idea that this body is not yours. What an unusual amount of emphasis
Do you
placed
just
onto a
fucking-
specific point. I wonder
You're just like a doppelganger or something, like fucking just taking the bodies or something, dude. It's mine now, you
This
know?
reminds me about that meme. This is meant to be an RPG. What rule am I playing the fucking victim when talking about Dark Souls?
Oh, I
and
heard of that
Elden
joke.
Ring?
Oh, I've heard of that joke. That's such a funny joke, dude.
wonder will that become relevant?
The
Through
victim.
these character sheets, we can infer more about Vermis's world. Each page includes a text description of the character's past, their starting items, 4 stats broken into strength, intelligence, faith, and will. However, the most curious part about these character sheets is the morality gauge, with each character having an alignment between good and evil. But what's interesting is good and evil don't seem to mean quite what they do in our world. Rather, the actual page explaining good and evil isn't described as morality, but the kinds of flesh.
That is interesting.
By a light cannot be faded by darkness. It will shine even in the darkest corners of the world. And evil, darkness is eternal, infinite, unrelenting. No one can escape it. We are born in the light and we rot in the dark. What's kind of interesting here is that these descriptions don't really reference moral or virtue. Rather, they seem to be pointing out some vague capacity to endure despair. And what's interesting is the alignment of the characters supports.
So is it just good as in is this a pretty good fucking thing that'll help you, and then bad as in this shit's dog shit?
Considered good are people with purpose, people who, even through the darkness of this world, have managed to cling on to some vital piece of themselves, their memories, their identities, and use those to move forward. Whereas the evil characters are the opposite. People who have become overcome with despair and in doing so, losing some core part of themselves, giving into madness or
Ratman,
or one of the more insidious belief systems
Ratman.
of the world. And again, that's an oddly specific point to make. And
oh my
why is this
god,
image back on
Mike,
screen?
thank you for the raid. I hope you're doing well, and I hope stream went well. Thank you for the raid. I hope you're doing well. Ratman. It was a Ratman.
Like
there was Ratman. What a fucking rat.
Conclusion. Possibly suggesting some kind of alignment system. Immediately following the character select is a page called The Known Gods. But apart from this lovely little piece of flavor text, there's no actual
holy
information
balls, raid,
about
holy
who
balls,
these gods
raid,
are,
holy
or how
balls,
they
raid,
relate to
holy
each other.
balls,
Meaning,
raid, holy
like
balls, raid, holy
balls,
raid, holy balls, raid,
holy balls,
you're going to
raid,
want to keep a pen and notebook to collect the little breadcrumbs of lore Vermis will occasionally drop you.
That's fucking funny.
The first of
Talking about the
items
holy
coming
balls yet again, I
turn
remember
the
that.
page
It's
and
fucking
begin
wild.
Your journey in the shadow of a gigantic skeleton. This
Was that thing
Vermis's
alive? Is dead? Is
massive
alive?
mammoth of bones that looms above you is the corpse of Gervik the Great, one of the 6 gods. And the message is clear. Even gods suffer and die here.
That's interesting.
You are no god. Like a lot of Plastaboo's work, Vermis conveys its world by combining different mediums and formats. Each time you enter a new location, those areas are brought to life through everything from serene, painterly landscape illustrations, disheveled, worn-out maps.
This do be
even
pretty
intricately
interesting.
Detailed level blueprints. Each location conveyed in carefully written prose. The images and text merged into these meticulously bespoke page layouts where every tiny detail adds to the atmosphere, right down to the faded text and cracked line work. It all combines into such a beautifully distinctive vibe that if I was to reductively try and describe it, I'd say that it's Dark Souls shot through with Silent Hill, but in truth, nothing really feels like this. There's a silence to the world of Vermis, an ever-present.
It is definitely an interesting thing of a game, but whenever I look at a game like this, I don't know, I'm more wondering what the gameplay is gonna be like. Never really get into the gameplay, but it does seem to be something of a point and click is what it looks like.
Brushing dread and beauty conveyed through the book's gaping halls and empty valleys. There's times where it feels downright peaceful, rare moments of quiet where the horrors fade away and you're allowed to just be. Welcome reprieves considering the abject nightmare that is everything else in this reality.
The
darkness you can feel in particular.
I don't even know what it didn't tell me the name of the game because it says introduction over. I think it is called Vermis actually, but like the video itself is called The Bizarre World of Fake Video Games. That's what it is.
Encounters with other people. Other humans are rare in this world, and when you do encounter them, it's often in their final moments. You'll turn a corner and see a knight strike an exhausted killing blow on some great ogre. Only for her to crumple to the ground, blood seeping out between the cracks in her armor.
That fucking sucks.
So it's more like an ARG.
Kinda, in a way. In a way, fake video games are just ARGs, you know? Like that's what it sounds. That's what it seems like to me.
Then cease. When you do encounter the living, it's often people drowning in their own despair, like the Lonely Knight. An imposing looking figure, but someone just wandering this world.
I ask her, how are you doing?
So lonely and broken after losing the person he loves that he will not even defend himself if attacked. And it's depressing. It's a land full of these broken
The Pale
people,
Sun Knight.
some so exhausted and torn apart by the terrors of this place that they now just cower, shaking with madness and fear, their minds bent and warped. The warriors they were now gone, leaving only quivering shells.
In deep shit butt. Okay for now.
Okay. Well, hopefully it gets better.
I would think it either gonna be like wizardry proving grounds of the mad overlord or spellcraft aspects of valor.
That would make sense, actually.
Go away. I can't help you. Stop this madness.
Despair through horror is a huge part of Vermis. This is a world that is constantly trying to break you and every character in it. And that horror comes in many forms. You'll enter lonely forest cabins in search of some rest, only to awaken to the echo of strange chanting.
I failed one course in my program.
Oh no!
Keeping me from graduating. They're only offering that course during the winters, so I won't be able to retake it until next year.
Vermis's monsters
What do you
are
mean? Is
creative
it
as they are frightening.
the winter? Winter is coming though. If it's winter for you, oh, you're on the other side of the world. That's crazy.
Winter semester.
Artwork accompanied by some truly unsettling descriptions.
That is crazy ass enemy. Look at that.
Hidden in the shadows, a wooden abomination lurks endlessly throughout the insides of the labyrinth, endlessly wandering the long, dark hallways, crawling its walls.
I'm so fucking
It's
cooked,
through these
gang.
monsters you'll feel Vermis's world constantly attempt to pull at.
Don't worry, I'm sure the next time that you come in, you're able to do it. Fear and Hunger looking as I feel like the Fear and Hunger, maybe actually, but these seem a lot more monstrous. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's the same.
Little fellow who prances and dances, trying to convince you to follow him with whimsical cries of "It is here! I am me! I have found it!" All while a long tendril protrudes from his back
What the
and
fuck?
trails into the shadows behind him, as if some unseen creature lies just out of sight, luring you.
That's crazy. I would
even serving as these gruesome
die.
cautionary tales as to the kinds of things that can happen people here, like the abyssal devotees of the Moonlit Tower, where the 6 different monsters you'll find there are all just these deranged cultists at different stages of some dark enlightenment.
Seeker
As
of
they continue
light,
down the path towards some
crystallized
awful truth,
chrysalid
their forms begin to
devotee,
crack
awakened
and distort,
devotee.
their human shells
Oh,
crumbling away as they become grotesque floating nervous systems.
It's like you're
connected
just
to a gleaming light, a creature
that is crazy. He's just like fucking slowly turning into his fucking nerves, dude. He just became, he lost his nerve, dude.
madness to anyone who approaches it, before ascending to their final impossible form, one that cannot be comprehended or destroyed. Any trace of identity or humanity now gone. When Vermis is at its strongest is when it combines its atmospheric locations and unsettling monster design and uses them to tell these simple but extremely memorable little stories. When you first encounter the Green Sun ruins of the Goblin Princess, you expect what you would from any dungeon ruled by a Goblin Princess. But once you enter, something feels wrong. Initially, the only enemies you encounter are not goblins, but the undead, brought to life by a necromancer, and later, a strange beast that lies trapped down a massive pit, whose nest is filled with bones. Any goblins you do find are decrepit and old. They peer out at you from behind pillars, anxious to avoid.
Look at that little guy. He's just having fun, dude.
Make your way through the area.
Oh, there's
you'll
2 of them. I
eventually
didn't realize the
encounter
second one.
this dungeon's boss monster, the Goblin Knight. This formidable foe fights with slower yet aggressive movements. A direct blow from one of his axes could be fatal.
Ah, I see.
If you carefully avoid or block his attacks for some time, you will eventually exhaust him. And that would be the optimal chance to thrust your weapon into one of the armor's apertures. Once you hurt him enough, he will fall to his knees.
Oh!
Exhausted, the Goblin Knight turns his head, staring into a dark hallway at the bottom of the room. He contemplates it for a few seconds, then screams at the top of his lungs and rises once again. The blood pours from his wounds like a fountain due to the pressure. He's going berserk. The night won't last long.
My family!
Fiercely until the very ends.
Bro, at that point, he's just going crazy. He's about to defend everything as much as he can, dude. That goblin is berserk.
To defeat the Goblin Knight, you're given the option to remove his helmet. And if you do, you discover he's not a goblin at all, but a human. And if you check the room he glanced at during your battle, you will discover a large sarcophagus containing the corpse of a long dead human princess.
Oh.
When you return to the hallway, you see the ghostly visage of this princess over the Goblin Knight's corpse. In Book 2, you learn the full meaning of this place, the tale of a malicious queen who built her kingdom on the bones of these scrawny creatures, the goblins fearfully following her every command. The queen soon grew beyond cruel, becoming torturous and depraved, to the point that when she gave birth to 2 daughters, one was a beautiful young girl who would become known as the Goblin Princess, and the other an abomination. Punishment for the queen's sins. The queen had her
so it's like a reward and punishment system here, dude. You get rewarded with beauty, a nice short stacked daughter, and then you get a beast.
Her other daughter, and opposite in many ways, grew more empathetic and loving to the terrified goblins who once lived so freely.
That's adorable.
Eventually mounting a rebellion and overthrowing her evil mother and casting her down into the pit to be devoured by the daughter she had imprisoned there. The princess, protected by her loyal Goblin Knight, turned this land into a sanctuary where no goblin blood would ever be spilled again. Until you. The goblins feebly attempting to guard the corpse of the princess who had showed them so much empathy and kindness. The princess, now cold and withered, her good deeds forgotten by the world, except by her servants, who still stare at you from the shadows. Vermis is a extremely grim world, to the point that if it actually existed as a video game, I don't know how fun it would be. There's moments where Vermis relies on putting the player through unreasonable levels.
Maybe if the gameplay was good, it would kind of discount the fact that everything is so fucking fucked.
The infinite hallways of the Shade Sanctum that trap the player for hours or days, where mind-numbing repetition and insanity begins to eat at the character. And while moments like that are really effective in concept, the idea of actually playing them sounds kind of unbearable. I think it's interesting that the format of a fake video game allows Vermis to go to these extremes, trapping the player in concept in the unbearable levels of cruelty of these hellish places.
See, I can't say whether it's gonna be a good game or not. I do predict that it would probably be a pretty crazy game to actually look for, with a lot of things that would probably definitely make it seem like it's a pain to slog through. I think every game has that kind of point to it, but at the same time, no, I think it would work well as a game. I think.
And in this
That's my own opinion, though.
There is one area of Vermis that stands above all others.
Ooh.
You know that feeling of waking up from a nightmare where everything seems normal until you notice something is wrong?
I don't agree with his idea that being hopeless or brutally gritty doesn't work.
Yeah, because being hopeless and gritty is literally the whole thing with fear and hunger. And technically with Dark Souls. I disagree with you.
Skeletons, all of whom seem to have just been
You know what, Super Eye Patch Wolf? I disagree with you.
people who sat
Fear
down
and hunger.
40k is hopeless as shit.
40k.
Strange melody draws you towards the mirror's unusually pristine reflection, and you realize that you can walk into this mirror, and when you do, you enter a strange new reality. Even by Vermis' standards, the glass purgatory is bizarre and cruel, crawling with impossible monsters, some of which, like the Conjoined, echo the people who have lost
the Conjoined Witch and Warrior. What the
Their
fuck?
corpses and identities
Me greedily
now twisting
nibbling
together
on
into
Karen's
these
chubby
nameless
belly.
abominations. While Vermis's dungeons
Nibbling on
usually
Karen's
last about a
chubby
dozen
belly.
pages,
Wait, which
the
one is
glass
Karen?
Purgatory just
From which
keeps
game?
going as you endure an endless parade of ordeals. Spectral figures grasp at you from beneath the surface
Funger
of
too.
the
Fair enough.
transforming
Fair enough.
into terrifying aquatic leviathans. Cults worshipping
She's covered
an old
wars.
evil
She's covered.
god,
Oh no, I know.
and perhaps more
I've seen that.
strange, creatures that seem able to stare out past the pages of the book.
Maybe I
and
should play
into
that game at some
you,
point.
The reader, aware that this body is not yours, asking to whom thy flesh belongs. Thy flesh does not belong to thee. These encounters are often violent and frightening.
You
but the
just
true
fucking-
hell is what happens after. The player's heart.
You're just basically playing as a skinwalker if you think about it. You're getting the bodies of random people, absorbing their flesh, and then becoming somebody else. It's fucking crazy. Or you're fucking, I don't know what else, what other monster does that. I have no clue what other monster would do that. Don't do that.
Hard-fought victories met with nothing but the appearance of strange mirrors. Mirrors that drag you deeper into the glass purgatory's bowels. Over and over, this happens.
That
There are
sucks.
times when you think you've escaped, when you feel the gentle breeze and the sunlight hit your skin and you're free, only for another mirror to materialize, and you awaken trapped further in this nightmare.
That
Soon,
fucking
the
sucks.
very sight of mirrors becomes frightening. Your own reflection, an abyss that plummets you deeper into this void, and time and space begin to distort. Days, weeks, months pass as you walk infinite, endless hallways, a cursed, numbing rot eating your limbs, and terrible faces grin out at you from every reflective surface. Sleep becomes impossible, your dreams stalked by ghoulish figures, and exhaustion and despair consumes everything you are.
That
All
fucking
while
sucks,
over
dude.
and over, you pray for relief. Over and over, a mirror shatters that hope. Finally, the player finds themselves on some impossibly deep level of the glass purgatory, a massive bell tower, at the top of which you encounter it. The Godless Servant, a depraved creature searching among a pile of headless corpses and placing those heads where its own should be, only for them to tumble off. It is frightening, but it's also
That's crazy.
pathetic. Something about this creature feels so sad, so familiar, and upon noticing you,
It's you.
it attacks. But its movements are slow. And
It's
feeble.
you.
It's been through an intense amount of punishment and is easily defended against. Its only attacks being its weak, grasping hands, which repeatedly attempt to pull at your skull, till eventually the pathetic creature is defeated and crumples to the ground, its hands still weakly grasping.
Me when I'm
towards
grabbed
you.
by a
And that's
giant
when you
anime
realize
woman.
In horror, you know what this creature is. It's you.
I fucking knew it.
Body.
What did I do?
Your
So real.
Real body.
I
The
told
weight
you.
of the
I fucking told you it was
depravity
you.
drops to your knees, and you do the only thing that makes
Me
sense.
when
anymore. You
Vomastina
remove
gives
your
me
own
uppy.
head
So
and
true, so
reattach it to
true.
this piece of yourself that you lost so long ago. And for a moment, the mist seeps gently around you, a cool breeze on your skin, and you feel relief before collapsing to the ground as blood pools beneath you and you stare into your reflection one final time, not with horror, but with acceptance.
Oh, and then the
This
blood is the mirror.
Just me. A bell tolls and you awaken in front of the mirror that started everything, but now you're truly free, and you leave the identity of your character behind.
Ooh.
For now,
L
you-
plus oblivious.
obvious ending.
L plus obvious ending.
I'm not
So
gonna
true.
pretend I fully understand this ending. Like everything in Vermis, it's weird and opaque, but my personal read is that Vermis is full of all these awful things, obsessed with separating your spirit from your flesh. And its world is littered with people who have lost that battle, who've become so numb and
they just fucking died,
that their identity, their
like
existence
pussies,
has corroded to nothing under this endless torrent of cruelty. But then there's you, the player, and you can feel that weight constantly, but particularly in the glass purgatory. This
see, if it were me, I just wouldn't die.
Grind you down and leave you desolate and lost and broken.
Isn't it obvious? I'm just fucking built different, chat. If something like this happened to me, I'd just be like, haha, and then leave.
Just another story of Vermis's world that will never end. But you persevere.
Dying is a skill issue.
So true, chat. So true. Dying is a skill issue.
Find this lost part of yourself, reuniting your body and spirit, making your identity whole. Because ultimately, all you ever really have is your body, is your mind. You are the connection between those two things. Ooh. And what Vermis ultimately says to me is no matter how bleak the world that surrounds you, you will be okay as long as you can cling to you.
Oh, so you just gotta accept yourself as you are.
That's a lot more than I was expecting to get from a fake video game walkthrough.
Damn.
Okay, back to that original question. Have I wasted a significant portion of my life making this video?
No.
That's kind of for you to decide. The truth is, I've been working on this for
Bro, I'm gonna be 100% with you. If you ask that question, you say no, you're dumb. Because if you think about it, this guy made a bunch of money doing this. Dude, let me see how many views this thing has. This thing has fucking 3.2 million views. You fucking know this guy, this fucking gave him a hell of a check. That's not a waste of time. That's progress.
The topic is too niche and that not many people besides me will care about it. But I think that's kind of why I needed to make this. When I talked about eye patch wolves at the start of this video, yeah, part of that is because I like selling t-shirts, but the truth is, building that world has been some of the most fulfilling shit of my entire life, and I want that for other people. I want people to build their own worlds, and I think fake video games are an amazing way to do it. It is still such a new art form, and people are still pushing the limits and figuring out what's possible. People like Plastaboo, and it's so fucking awesome. And I wanted to shine a light on that will introduce, hopefully, a lot of new people to the concept. So if you've been watching this video and thinking, oh man, I'd love to make my own fake video game, fucking do. There is nothing.
I'll give you guys a fake video game.
Every single
I don't know how to draw.
Go
I'm sad now.
Build those worlds so that I can walk around in them. There. That's it. That's my video.
It's art. It's art.
Friends, thank you for joining me. Sorry this video took so long. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out 20%
all right, I'm about to put this right here. Well, you know, let's hear it.
Off on
You're a fake video game.
No, you.
Podcast versus Wolves.
You're a fake video game.
Both in the description below. As ever, I want to thank my beautiful patrons for making.
Ow, that's a lot of patrons. Holy shit. If I made content like this, I would definitely fucking hella get supporters, but I don't make content like this. I steal other people's content and engorge myself in reactions.
Superfish. As ever, find me on the Jeff's Bizarre Adventure Anime Podcast, or on Twitter at EyePatchWolf. Friends, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.
And that was the Bizarre World of Fake Video Games Part 2 for myself. We did do a pretty good reaction, and it is a good video. If you enjoy Super EyePatchWolf, I would recommend. This was 2 years ago, by the way, so it's been going on for quite a bit. If you enjoy his content, I would recommend you liking and subscribing to his videos. He's really great at making them. He puts a lot of work into them. I wouldn't say that they're a waste of time. They definitely are something greater to them. As for me, though, I am a miscreant and a scavenger, and I'm here to eat what remains of the bones. But yeah, no, it was a pretty good video. I really did enjoy it. And as for my shameless plug-in, I am also a creator of comics. I have a comic out, The Crown Nexus, that you can read out in the that you can read on Webtoons, Tapas, and Patreon and Pixiv, where you can read all of that. as well as among that, we also have you know, I stream on Twitch if you want to take a look at that, twitch.tv/Yuffie. Also, you want to make sure that, and also while you're here, if you want to like and subscribe, if you enjoyed these kind of videos, I'll get more.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, but he also makes OnlyFans content. So true, chat.
OnlyFans content.
I fucking wish I had the body for something like that. But anyways, thank you very much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves. Is it paid access? It actually isn't. Oh, the comics are basically free, and so are the character bios that I add into it. So you guys can take a look at what characters are added to the comics themselves. You can take a look at that, as well as I do try to post as many important stuff as possible, even if I don't post every day. I would recommend you guys take a look at that. I do have different tiers for different types of access. If you want, like, I really do like pinup art from artists that I hired too. It's gooner art. It's straight up goon art. If you want fucking gooner type shit, if you want to take a look at that, Moth Yuffie is going to be coming out pretty soon. If you guys would take a look at that, that's up to the $3 tier, as well as early access. If you'd like to take a look at that, go to my Patreon if you'd like. But yeah, thank you very much. And also those names are there from the Patreon, by the way. Thank you very much for coming by. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Love you all. Bye, everybody.